Welcome to the Phone Arena video review of the BlackBerry Curve 8520. The 8520 is a basic BlackBerry. It's poised to be an entry-level model into the Curve family, slated below the 8900, which recently launched for T-Mobile. Officially, this device is yet to be unannounced, so keep in mind that some of the specifications are subject to change. There's really not a whole lot to say about the 8520 besides the design. The biggest feature is the optical trackpad. Instead of the typical trackball you find in the middle, you'll now find a little optical pad, and you simply run your finger over it. It's not too bad. It did take some getting used to, and we had to crank the sensitivity all the way up to 100 to be able to control it the way we liked. However, it's a cool little innovation, and given that the trackballs have problems, it's nice to see BlackBerry potentially addressing this issue. Other than that, it's a fairly typical BlackBerry. You have your full QWERTY keyboard down below, a 3.4-inch display, and the cluster of navigation keys in the middle. The display is only QVGA, which is good, but not as good as we've seen on the Curve 8900, and of course the Bold or the Storm. As an entry-level device, this is to be expected, however. Another thing we like is the buttons on the side of the phone. For the first time, they're not individual buttons, but they're actually continuous with the housing, which just kind of passes over them. In terms of functionality, everything remains the same. You still have a volume rocker and a right and left convenience key. But it adds to a cooler look, we think, and it gives it a good feel. There's also a 3.5mm headset jack, which we've come to expect, and a micro USB charging and data port. The top features some nifty playback controls. You have play pause, which also doubles as a mute switch, and then track forward and track back. Obviously, they're going for the more consumer market with a multimedia friendly phone. The back of the phone is very simple. There is no mechanical latch, so the user simply pries the battery cover off. There is a micro SD slot, and up at the top there's a small 2-megapixel camera. There's no flash this time around, which is something we've grown accustomed to with BlackBerries. The user interface is BlackBerry OS 4.6, and there's absolutely nothing new here. For anyone who's used the new Curve, the 8900, the Storm, the Bold, or the 8350i, it's the exact same interface. Overall, we were pleased with the Curve 8520 as an entry-level model. There's not a whole lot new about it, save for the optical trackpad, but it's got a nice size, feel, and weight. Our one complaint was with call quality. Users thought we sounded great, but on our end, they sounded pretty horrible. Keep in mind that this is an unofficial model so far. This is subject to change, and we hope it does.